Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we saw history. We saw history. For the first time in American history, we saw an active president debate his predecessor, debate the former president that came before him. And I would like to say that it was interesting, that it was a good, healthy, strong debate with both candidates being very strong and having good points. It was none of those things. It was quite a bloodbath. And for anyone that actually watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this was bad. This was bad. I mean, Joe Biden is so senile. And I'm not saying this to be a jerk. I'm genuinely not. At this point, I feel really bad for the guy. I feel really bad. It genuinely feels like we are watching elder abuse right in front of our eyes. Whose idea was this to put this guy on this stage? Whose idea was this? Now, according to the media, that the Biden campaign or Biden himself is the one that sought out this debate. This was a bad idea, ladies and gentlemen. He couldn't get a sentence out, couldn't answer the questions clearly. I mean, we're looking at people in the polling industry that are saying, as the debate is going on, he is losing support. After the first commercial break, after the second commercial break, people are actively saying, people who voted for Biden in 2020 are actively saying, all right, look, we can't keep doing this. I don't like the guy, but I'm voting for Donald Trump. Joe Biden is losing support from his own people as the debate is happening. This was a complete and total debacle. So I want to go through some of the highlights that I thought were quite telling as to how this debate went. It was a very clear contrast between Joe Biden's performance and Donald Trump's performance. I thought Donald Trump did very well. He was very clear. And the rule about shutting off the microphones so that they could not banter and interrupt each other, that worked in Donald Trump's favor so heavily because everybody rags on him, say, "Oh, he's so mean, he's so terrible. He's always interrupting the other person. He never lets the other person get." But in this situation with the microphone shut off, he wasn't allowed to do that. So he looked so presidential. He looked so professional and presidential more than ever he has. In any of the debates that I want to say this is like the seventh presidential debate he's been. I could be completely wrong. He's been in a lot of presidential debates. I mean, this is his third campaign for president. Guys, it's bad. The contrast is so severe between these two candidates. So I'm going to go through over some of the highlights with you guys. Then I want to go over some of the reaction that is happening not only in polling, but also across the Republican and Democrat Party. Oh, boy. This first video, you kind of just have to watch. You kind of just have to watch and truly see just how bad this really was for Joe Biden. This right here was severe. This was severe. This was really bad. I'm going to let the video speak for itself.
All those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, just the cringe and oh gosh, you just get secondhand embarrassment. It's so cringy, bro. He can't get a word out. The dude can't talk. He can't talk. Dude cannot get a sentence. And my goodness, I don't see how Trump was able to bring out these flashy retorts that he's so known for. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's in a situation where he's interrupting someone else's time. But even this, where they had the microphone shut off, it even helped him here. He was still able to do everything he does with the flashy retorts and the comebacks and everything. And this entire debate just made Donald Trump look so fantastic. Here's another one.
Continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence, and I don't think he knows what he said either. How can you retort that? Listen to what he just said, and then tell me that you think he knows what he just said. I don't think he does. I don't even necessarily think that was like a flashy retort from Donald Trump. I think that's just a fact. I don't think Joe Biden knows what he's talking about. I don't think he knows what he's saying. Oh my goodness. Now, then we contrast that to Donald Trump responding to questions and calling out Joe Biden's foreign policy, which has been a serious issue throughout all of Joe Biden's presidency, is the foreign policy issue. Under Donald Trump, you didn't have any of these wars. You didn't have any of this. You didn't have war, Russia and Ukraine. You didn't. I believe at one point in the debate, Donald Trump pointed out the fact that under Bush, Obama, and Biden, Putin has gone and taken land from other countries under those administrations. But under Donald Trump, it did not happen, because Donald Trump is respected by these other elites, by these other world leaders, by these other dictators. You know how strong of a man you have to be? You know how harsh of a man you have to be to deal with dictators who kill people because they don't like them or because they're a political opponent on a daily basis? You have to be a tough guy. You just do. Everybody likes to rag on Donald Trump. Oh, he's not presidential. He keeps dictators in line, people. Let's hear it from his own mouth right here.
That, and he saw the incompetence that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for that. And he saw the incompetence that
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right, guys. This is all facts. These are not things that you can retort. It is a fact that Putin refused to attack any countries under Donald Trump. Only under these other administrations has Putin ever attacked these other countries. Then, of course, you have the complete and utter failure in Afghanistan. Joe Biden just leaving Bagram Air Base. Bagram Air Base could have been used to get American citizens out. Instead, he gave up the base without telling our allies in Afghanistan that it was even happening. And we left thousands of Americans behind. So much that private citizens were having to take private planes into Afghanistan and get American citizens out themselves. He left American citizens. He said, and then of course Joe Biden tries to come back and say, "Oh, well, we got hundreds of thousands of Americans out." It's not enough, Joe. It's not enough. Because you left thousands of American citizens to rot and die and to be killed under the Taliban regime. Think about that. Think about that, Joe. The 20 years that we spent over there was now completely wasted. All because of your failures with that pull out of Afghanistan, we resulted in 20 years of war replacing the Taliban with the Taliban. Thank you, Joe. Your failure in Afghanistan resulted in that. Oh, and dozens of U.S. troops being killed because of it. Thousands of Americans being left behind. Billions of dollars worth of American weaponry now in the hands of the Taliban, which is a terrorist organization. What are we doing? How is this even still a debate? Let's continue. Then of course we got this debacle of a closing statement from Joe Biden. Oh, let's listen in. This is hard to listen to.
What I did when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need.
Oh God. It's just, you just feel a certain type of way. Like, ooh, come on, get it out. Today, Junior. Like, come on, Joe. Somebody give this man an Adderall in the next commercial break. Somebody, please. Like just help the man out. He's struggling. Think about this, guys. He prepared for 10 days at Camp David for this. His campaign and himself were at Camp David for 10 days preparing for this single hour. 1 hour. They spent 10 days preparing for a 1 hour, or excuse me, a 1.5 hour debate. 1.5 hour debate. And this was the best that they could muster. It's the best they could do. And then, of course, you have this, where this is a zoomed in video, so it's a little blurry, but you see Joe Biden here and Jill Biden right here.
President Trump walking off the stage. The first debate of the I'm
going to go ahead and mute that. She's having to help him down the stairs. She's having to lead him off the stage so he doesn't get lost. Look at this. The dude can't walk down the stairs without somebody holding his hand. Guys, it is no wonder. It is no wonder, guys. It's no wonder that the rest of the world does not respect us. It is no wonder that these other world leaders, Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping of China, it's no wonder that they don't respect us, that they laugh at us over Joe Biden. Our president is a senile old man. He can't get a sentence out. You seriously think that they fear that? These are the types of dictators that throw people in gulags. Kim Jong-un killed his own uncle with a missile, bro. With a missile. You think Kim Jong-un is scared of this walking corpse? No, he's not. We need someone that can put these people in their place. We need someone on the world stage that can be strong. And on top of all of this, you have the issue of immigration. You have the issue of the economy. Joe Biden has no answer. In fact, oh my goodness, I hope I can find it. Because at one point, right here.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back.
There was no inflation when I became president. He finally admitted it. He finally admitted it. There was no inflation when I became president. You just heard it there, folks, ladies and gentlemen. And the whole idea of, oh, there was no inflation because the economy was flat on its back. I don't think you know how this works, Joe. That's not how that works. Inflation is what causes an economy to be flat on its back, not low inflation. Okay. Yes. At the time, we were in the midst of COVID. The economy had fallen off somewhat, but because of the first 3 years of Donald Trump, where the economy was skyrocketing and was absolutely booming, we got through COVID much easier than any other country in the world, except, of course, for when Joe Biden got into office and he tried to reverse a whole bunch of economic policies from Donald Trump. And now we get this debacle. We are no longer energy independent. We have a porous and weak border, which, of course, Donald Trump talked about much tonight, which, of course, we all knew that Donald Trump was going to win on that aspect of things. My goodness, at one point in this debate, Donald Trump was pointing out that just recently there was 3 young girls who had been sexually assaulted and had, mind you, these are minors, like 12 years of age. Young girls. Recently, 3 young girls, 12 years of age, sexually assaulted and murdered in our streets by illegal immigrants. By illegal immigrants. And you want to know what Joe Biden's response was? Everything he just said is a lie. That's what he said. Everything he just said is a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, these are facts. All of these things are facts. It is a fact that these 3 young girls were recently killed by illegal immigrants in the United States. This is not up for debate. This is not something that you can retort. Here's one of them right here. From Libs of TikTok, new booking photos for the 2 Venezuelan illegals who raped and killed 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare. I apologize. I'm not good with names. I'm not intending to get that name wrong. I believe it is Nungare, before dumping her body in a creek. And Joe Biden had the audacity that when Donald Trump points that out, Joe Biden has the audacity to say everything he just said is a lie. He denies that American young girls are being molested and killed in our streets. Excuse me, I smacked the mic there for a second. I just get heated a little bit. As a father of a young girl, that just bothers me. If you're a man and you have daughters, it should bother you that Joe Biden says it's a lie that this young girl was raped and murdered in our streets by illegal immigrants. Which, by the way, Joe Biden had every power in the book to stop. If he had ordered his border patrol to do their job and to stop these people from coming into this country, then these 2 men would have never even been in the country to commit this crime. And this young girl would have never gone through that trauma, and she would still be here today. But of course, you can't possibly ask, you can't possibly ask Democrats to care about the American people, can you? So, what is the response that we are seeing from the polling and from the Democratic Party after this? Okay, so in the interactive polls at Polymarket, presidential election winner. Now, Polymarket, this is a prediction market. This is a lot like gambling. People are going and they are placing wagers, placing bets on what they believe is going to happen. But it's not an exact math, but it is a good barometer for what the people think is going to happen. Okay, so and if there is a majority of people that are saying a certain thing is going to happen, then it's likely that thing is probably going to happen because these people are putting their money on this. So before the debate, 59% of people were saying that Trump was going to win. Oh, excuse me. This is presidential election winner. I apologize. This down here is the... Goodness, I apologize, guys. I should have had this ready to go. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so presidential election before the debate. 59% of people were saying that Donald Trump was going to win the election. Okay, 34% for Biden, 3% for Newsom. Now, I'm going to get to that in just a second. I'm going to tell you why that's important. Post-debate, after the debate, 65% plus 42-point lead over Joe Biden in the prediction market. Biden drops down to 23%. That is an 11-point drop, I believe. Then, of course, you have Newsom. That has gone up 6%. Post-debate odds, presidential election winner Trump is now 66%. That is a new high. With RFK Jr. included, we have 1% for RFK Jr. Newsom is 4%. Biden, 28%. Trump, 66%. Of course, like I said, that is a new high. Now, we've got this poll with Michelle Obama now included. This is Trump, 60%. Biden, 34%. Michelle Obama, 3%. Guys, these markets are changing so very much, but depending on who is included in the exact market. But let me ask you this. How bad do you think this was? I genuinely want people in the comments to tell me how bad you guys think this was. I think this was an absolute debacle for Joe Biden. And I got to be honest with you. So does the Democratic Party.
The two of them decided after November of 2022 that he was going to seek the presidency when there were so many people who thought he should have turned it over to a new generation. And this has been, quite frankly, a car accident in slow motion that we've seen over and building and questioning it. And, you know, as has been pointed out, Joe Biden sought this debate at this remarkably early time because he knew he was losing and he needed to change the narrative. Yep. And he did change the narrative. He sunk his campaign tonight. That the two of them decided.
Wow. From CNN, ladies and gentlemen. CNN. Now, I get it. There's some far leftists out there that's going, oh, CNN is biased. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, CNN, just that bastion of far-right conservatism, right? Okay, well then here's another one from MSNBC.
Obama,
here is Joy Reid.
I too was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operatives, with campaign operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout. And the universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic. The people who were texting with me were very concerned about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak.
Because he is. He is extremely feeble and extremely weak. Here's yet another one, ladies and gentlemen.
More than a week.
Okay, so more than a week. They know the rules. He practices with the mics. He knows every one of these questions is coming. And yet he couldn't fill the time. Now, I just want to, let's see what the White House is saying. Sources close to the White House are saying he had a cold, wasn't feeling well. I mean, as you would expect, that came out early on in the debate. But what accounts for someone with so much experience doing so much preparation and this being the outcome?
Honestly, I think the question answers itself. He wasn't capable of doing any better than he did.
He goes.
Wow. I mean, guys, this is just bad. Here's yet another one. Mind you, these are not Republican sources. This is not Fox News. Okay, this is not some independent news organization that's on the far right or whatever that's saying this. This is CNN. Let's see what let's see what John King on CNN has to say.
It was a game-changing debate in the sense that right now, as we speak, there is a deep, a wide, and a very aggressive panic in the Democratic Party. It started minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists. It involves elected officials. It involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket. And they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call?
Wow. Should they go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? That is a direct quote from Chief National Correspondent John King on CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in unprecedented times, okay? Now, the reason why I kept bringing up Michelle Obama and Gavin Newsom out of California is for exactly the reason that John King just stated. That this was so bad and so monumentally terrible for the Biden campaign that there were many people on the left, a lot of, just normal liberals, watching TV, you know what I'm saying? But also a lot of prominent Democrats who are in politics for a living saying Joe Biden has to go. Joe Biden has to be replaced. Now, who the question is who replaces him? Now, you look at Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama has stated many times in the past that she doesn't want to run. She has stated before that she saw what the stress of the White House did to her husband, Barack Obama, and she has stated multiple times that she does not want that. Then, of course, tonight, you get this story from Gavin Newsom himself from the Washington Examiner. Newsom brushes aside calls for Biden to step aside at head of presidential ticket. California Governor Gavin Newsom brushed off a question about President Joe Biden stepping aside from the Democratic ticket following Thursday night's presidential debate, calling such speculation unhelpful and unnecessary. He said, "I think it's unhelpful and I think it's unnecessary," Newsom responded. "We've got to go in and keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You do not turn your back because of one performance." The California Democrat continued, "What kind of party does that? It has been a masterclass, 15.6 million jobs," which of course, he's just recovering jobs that were lost during COVID. He actually hasn't built a new job. Joe Biden has not produced a single new job in his entire presidency. All of these 15.6 million jobs are jobs that are being recovered after they were lost during COVID when governors of states chose to shut down each and every state. Mind you, Donald Trump said that he didn't have the power to shut down the country. It was the governors of the individual states that decided to shut down the states. Remember that whenever a Democrat tries to tell you that, Donald Trump handled the pandemic poorly. This president has delivered. We need to deliver for him at this moment. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Excuse me. Got a bit of a cough. There you have it. You have Michelle Obama that has outright said that she doesn't want to be a part of this. You have Gavin Newsom that has said that he's throwing in his support for Joe Biden even after this terrible performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that I believe these people. I got to be honest. I don't think I believe these people. Like after the performance we saw tonight from Joe Biden, if Joe Biden is the nominee, even after this performance, Donald Trump is going to be the winner. I'm sorry. I don't see any other way that this can get turned around. Even if there's some kind of shenanigans in the voter rolls or in Democrats try to pull some, what I don't care. I don't care. I don't see how they win. I don't see how you shadow campaign your way out of that debacle that we all just saw tonight. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, the reason I say that I don't believe these people is because just that. I don't believe them. I believe that they are going to try to replace Joe Biden as the presidential candidate. If they don't, they're dead in the water. They're going to lose. I think it's pretty obvious at this point after that performance. So let's go over each candidate that is being considered, or that many people are speculating is being considered to replace Joe Biden. Gavin Newsom. I think Gavin Newsom is much easier to defeat than people are thinking. He is very charismatic. I'll give him that. He's extremely charismatic, but so is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is very charismatic. He's very funny. He's a comedian when he's on stage, when he's giving a speech, or when he's in a debate. Obviously, he was able to roll out several zingers tonight, just going right at Joe Biden. And they're hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious when he gets rolling. So I don't think that the charisma of Gavin Newsom is going to play as much of a role, especially after Donald Trump and Republicans start to bring up his performance in California. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track of California lately. It is a cesspool. Okay, you can walk down many streets in many California cities today, and it looks like the favelas of Brazil. In Rio de Janeiro, it looks like the favelas. There are shanty towns that have been built out of scrap wood just along the sidewalk in California. You've got homelessness. You've got massive amounts of crime. I mean, you look at all of the department stores, CVS, Walgreens. These companies are having to shut down all of their stores in these major cities in California because of the crime. Because they have told the police to stand down, and we are not going to prosecute anyone for stealing less than $1,000, less than $999. I think that was the number. Less than $999. You steal less than that, we're probably not going to arrest you. If we catch you, we might give you a ticket. Probably not. We'll probably just ignore you. And so what do you get? When you say that, when you put a policy like that in place, you get massive crime. You get shoplifting left and right. And then, of course, if these shops try to defend themselves, well, of course, they're the ones that the police go after. Because like I've always said many times on this show, it is much easier for the police to deal with little old you than it is for them to deal with the mob. If they have a choice between dealing with the angry mob that wants to kill them or dealing with little old you, they're going to deal with little old you. You're going to be the one that they throw in the prison cell. So, California is a debacle, and all Donald Trump and the Republicans have to do is just keep harping on that. He's going to turn this country into California. He's going to turn this country into the failure, one after another that he's had in California. So, I think that Gavin Newsom has much more to attack. He has much more things that you can attack him on. And then there's Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama has been out of the limelight. She is a black woman, which of course is very popular on the left right now. If they've been searching for the first female president for a long time, especially on the left. And there's not a whole lot that you can attack her on. She's never been president. She's never really been a part of politics before. You could maybe, go on her inexperience. But I don't see how that's really going to... She's a very popular person. She's got a large following, especially in the black community. Guys, I think if there was going to be a replacement, I think it would be Michelle Obama. But as we've seen, they themselves, Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama, have both said they don't want to be a part of this. I don't know. We're 4 months away, guys. We're 4 months away. And I think these 4 months are going to be absolutely insane. I think they're going to be insane. I think we're going to see a lot of craziness. But like I said, I think after this performance, if Joe Biden is still the candidate after the Democratic National Convention, if Joe Biden is made the candidate at the Democratic National Convention, I think Donald Trump wins. I really do, especially after this performance. And we're going to have another performance in September, another debate in September that I think is likely going to be a lot of the same that we saw here. And that one will be even fresher on everyone's minds going right into November. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that tonight was a big win for Donald Trump. We'll have to see. I do want to point one thing out, though, guys. Do not get complacent. Do not get complacent, and don't think that just Donald Trump, that just getting Donald Trump into office is going to somehow get us a win. If you want to see real change, you need to go in to your polling place on election day, or you can vote early, whatever. I don't care. You know, if you're in a state where they allow you to vote early, great, go vote. I don't care. I don't care, you know, whether you vote early, whether you vote on the day of, don't care. Just go vote, please. And when you go in to vote, you got to vote Republican down ballot. You got to vote all Republican. It's the only way that you're going to see real change. Because here's the reality. If Donald Trump gets into office, oh yeah, great, awesome. Oh wait, no. Because people didn't vote down ballot Republican. Republicans lose the House. Democrats keep control of the Senate. And before Donald Trump ever even gets a day in office, he is impeached and removed from office by the Democrats in the House and the Senate. That's exactly what would happen. That is exactly what would happen. Democrats would absolutely use that power to impeach Donald Trump and to remove him from office. 100%. Now, whoever his vice president would be, I have no idea. But the reality is Democrats could do the exact same thing to whoever that is. And then because Democrats will have taken back the House, they could just put the Speaker of the House in as president, who would be a Democrat. Guys, you got to vote down ballot Republican. If you really want to see real change, Republicans have to keep control of the House, and they have to take back the Senate, and we got to get Donald Trump in office. That's just reality. I get it. I get it. There might be some candidates you don't like. But if you don't vote for them, voting for Donald Trump is a waste. It's a waste. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We're still 4 months away, which is longer than it seems. But I think these 4 months are going to be insane. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? I'll have another video coming for you guys probably next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go vote, guys. We can take back our country. We got this. All right. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.